which Hinduism has hidden in its lifestyle. So, without further ado, we'll be jumping into the first year of today's segment, the year 2004. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, spoke on the Ananda Yoga, the path of ecstasy, at the IFC temple in Oklahoma, USA. The grandest happening on planet Earth, the Paramavatara, the ultimate incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, steered the delegates from their intellect to their being, from the mundane worship to the sheer intimacy with the divine. After the satsang, Bhagwan personally healed and blessed each and every one, imparting in them the biggest gift a disciple can have, the Guru Bhakti. Following are a few pictures taken during this event. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. He has traveled across the world, reaching out and making Hinduism available to people, as this is one of the biggest blind spots that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared, that Hindus have been having in the last hundreds of years. It's the lack of reaching out, the lack of enriching. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism doing just that.
On this 3rd March 2006, on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, answered all the delegates' questions on life and spirituality. A Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully answered each and every question in personalizing it with interesting stories and quotations from other masters like Sri Ramakrishna and Shankaracharya. He created a relaxing and friendly atmosphere for everyone in order to enable all the delegates to absorb such high truths with ease and understanding. In the end, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism ended the session with a guided meditation. Now we'll play the video.
My 10-year-old son loves watching TV hours and hours in a day. I It's a nice question. Whose question it is? I'll answer. See, be very clear. Transformed. When you give suggestion to bring awareness to breathing during meditation, my awareness goes to breathing, but also at the same time it goes to all the extremities of the body, feeling blood flowing through them. What is happening is you are entering into a different zone. You are really going into that unclutched state. When you go into that unclutched state, you will be aware of whatever is happening in your mind and body. See, your body is the nearest thing to your being. So you will become completely aware of your body and mind and your being. So you are really growing. You are really working on your inner space. Things are happening. When a child is born with a disease or brain trauma, did he bring the shaft of pain from previous life? He really brings the shaft. If you can teach him to disconnect or be unclutched, and the unclutching can be taught even at the age of 7 or 8, because that time itself they will be able to understand. This is such a simple thing. Any small child can understand. Just make him write and show him this is the way your mind is going on. Don't give importance to anything. You will help him to retain his enlightenment. Actually, tomorrow we are starting. Just tomorrow we are launching a program called Little Anandas to take care of the kids, to help the kids to retain their enlightenment. Tomorrow onwards we are starting. We are launching in 10 cities at a time. It's like every weekend, every Saturday and every Sunday, 2-hour session. Half an hour we give them the basics of spirituality, half an hour some meditation, 1 hour they will jump around and express their energy in all creative ways, singing or painting or different things, to keep them alive and to retain their shaftless space, and even if they started creating shaft, to break free from it, to give them this understanding. We are starting the program tomorrow onwards. We are starting called Little Anandas. Every weekend, every Sunday we will be having. How do samskaras affect the shafts? Are they unconscious shafts? Even the ideas that you are unconscious is given to you to exploit you. Now I have to expose one more thing. The concept of sin is inserted into your inner space by the so-called religious people to exploit you. The concept of unconsciousness is inserted into you by the so-called psychotherapists and psychiatrist people to exploit you. There is no such thing as unconscious exists. Let you be very clear. You may be thinking what this Swami is talking. Whether you understand or not, this moment you can unclutch yourself. All your weakness, all your, shafts which you created, which you are not able to relax, only you call in the name of unconsciousness. There is no such thing as unconsciousness. You can unclutch yourself this moment. This moment you can unclutch yourself. You don't have to think, oh, consciously I can unclutch Swamiji. How can I unclutch myself unconsciously? All these things are just one more question. Your failure which you experienced 8 years ago, your failure which you experienced 9 years ago, the failure which you experienced 10 years ago, the failure which you experienced yesterday are not connected. When you connect them and label, oh, I have unconscious problem, that is why I am again and again failing, you create a trouble. They are not connected. This moment, understand, they are not connected, and liberate yourself.
Entering now into the next year, the year 2007. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, elaborated on how people become slaves of logic and of the rational mind rather than using that as a tool. In this particular excerpt, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spoke on how the logical people who are continuously in the space of doubt live in their body like hell and leave the body like hell, whereas how there is always a certain grace with emotional people when they live and leave the body. In this beautiful way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism took everyone through a journey by sharing beautiful example and showed how one can radiate their unique love to everyone and liberate himself, herself from the pangs of insecurity. So let us watch an excerpt of this address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
In your being also you should have few tunes. Once in a while you should be able to go out of the logic. But normally you carry only one tune self and you don't have other tunes. Actually, logical people think that emotional people are the people who can trust others are fools. But they don't understand. To question, to be logical, to doubt, you don't need intelligence. Any fool can do that. All fools will do that only. Only to trust, to open up, to relax, you need intelligence. Very rarely, only intelligent people relax. People who can relax, I have seen how gracefully they live and leave. They are living and leaving. Both will be so graceful. People are caught just with the logic, who can't relax during living and leaving. Both will be hell for them. Both will be hell, worst hell. Small story. In a monastery, all the brothers were getting the training by the chief priest how to talk, how to give a sermon. Chief is telling, when you talk about heaven, you should just express it in your body language. Your face should shine, your eyes should exhibit the joy, and your whole body should show that you are in heaven. It should just be told in your body language to inspire people. When you talk about hell, don't do anything, just be as you are. Nothing much needs to be done. If you are living with logic, you don't need to visualize hell because you are already in. You don't need to imagine hell because you are already in. It's very rare. Few genius individuals. Genius is a person who escapes from the social training of creating a strong logic. Understand? Genius is a person who escapes from the social conditioning or social training of creating a strong logic. Actually, if you somehow find a method, a technique to escape from the strong logic, your logic will be able to penetrate the zones, penetrate the spaces which normal person's logic can't penetrate. You will have different flavor, you will have different quality, you will have different kind of inner space. Again, it's very difficult to express logically how you can go beyond logic, because words are logical. But now I am sitting and talking against the logic. There's a beautiful simile in Nyaya Sutra. It's a great book on logic in Vedic tradition. Maybe this example will give you an idea how we misuse the logic and how we misunderstand, how we miss the whole thing. There are two different kinds of logic. One logic is by listening to two statements, you can come to the conclusion of third statement. For example, all men have got one head. Socrates is a man. You know the third statement now. Socrates has got one head. This is simple logic. This is one kind of a logic. There is the other kind of a logic. This room has got two gates. One gate is open. Naturally, your mind will come to the conclusion, to the third statement, the other gate is closed. But it doesn't have to be. Understand, there are two kinds of logic. The second logic, you can't come to the conclusion.
On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, elaborated how people became slaves of logic. 3rd March 2008. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, continued on the series of addresses and initiations from the Shiva Sutra, the techniques that were given by Shiva himself to Devi Parashakti for her enlightenment. Below, we can see some of the photos of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, elaborating upon these sutras. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism unraveled the deeper meanings behind the sutras and compassionately answered all the questions of the delegates. This convention took place in Adi Kailasa, Bengaluru, India.
On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, released the Jivan Mukti, Living Enlightenment book in Chennai. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was personally organized from end to end the book release of the Mandap, the preparations and setup of the book release function. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave a beautiful speech and blessed each and everyone who came to attend to this most auspicious event. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealing the most important work of his public life, the Living Enlightenment book. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that the essence of everything that I have taught, I am teaching, and I will be teaching resides in this book. So inviting each and everyone to go online, you can type Living Enlightenment by Nithyananda Paramashivam PDF, and you'll be able to access the online form of this amazing release and contribution by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Also on this day, while Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism released the Living Enlightenment book in Chennai, his representatives released and presented the first copies to the prominent social, spiritual, political, and economical leaders in several other places. In Kanchipuram, the book was released and present to the divine incarnation of Shiva Shankara, the Jagadguru Sri Jayendra Saraswati Shankaracharya, the 69th Shankaracharya Guru, and the Peethadipati of the Kanchi Shankara Matha during the convocation ceremony of the famous SCSVMV University.
Entering now into the year 2011. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, elaborated on the Brahma Sutras. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that one great thing about the Brahma Sutras is you don't need to practice anything. It's completely my responsibility. All you need is you need to sit and understand the words I utter as per your dictionary. That's all. Nothing else. You don't even need to bother about my dictionary. You understand as per your dictionary. That's it. It is my responsibility to create the right words which will lead you to the inner awakening as per your dictionary. Throughout this book, no technique. The only technique-less spiritual book in the world is the Brahma Sutras. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing at all. Let us watch a small excerpt of the revelations on the Brahma Sutras, the introduction of the Brahma Sutras by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
One great thing about these Brahma Sutras is you don't need to practice anything. It's completely my responsibility. All you need is you need to sit and understand the words I utter as per your dictionary. That's all. Nothing else. You don't even need to bother about my dictionary. You understand as per your dictionary. That's it. It's my responsibility to create the right words which will lead you to the inner awakening as per your dictionary. Throughout this book, no technique. The only technique-less spiritual book in the world is Brahma Sutras. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing at all. Now I will have to introduce Vyasa, the first inner scientist who successfully did the experiment and made this to happen. I want to tell you, in this happening, you are not even asked to sit in Padmasana to awaken Kundalini. No. This is the most successful and powerful happening. I tell you, if you think still you have not experienced levitation or Kundalini awakening and you are a strong intellectual, you are going to experience now with this happening. This is especially for you. Just by understanding, Vyasa can make it happen. I can say Vyasa is the modern man's guru because modern men does not want to do anything except sitting in front of computer. I can say Vyasa is the only practical guru, oldest and most modern, because does not ask you to sit even straight. You can just relax in a couch, only thing you should not sleep. You should try to have the cognition of what I am talking. That's it. Just like how you sit and listen to the news in the TV channel or sit and watch the cricket in the TV or something in the net, in computer, same way just sit and watch, understand, that's enough.
Also, 3rd March 2011, also on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, presided over the Jivan Mukti Living Enlightenment book Jayanti Day in Adi Kailasa, Bangalore, India. So you can see the beautiful copies of Jivan Mukti book and Jivan Mukti deities. Books are our deities, so that. On this day, presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, intercepted the Akashic records of the Bhagavad Gita from the grand cosmic download and the rehappening of the Bhagavad Gita. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the concepts of execution and action. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained the exciting executing without feeling that one is acting as is a leadership quality. Furthermore, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave a profound insights about stress. He explained that the wrong ideas about stress need to be changed because stress is a disease based on beliefs and ideas foisted upon people. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also revealed that the concept of stress was invented similar to the current concept of beauty. So
On the year 2013, on this day, the presidential address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism created a new term. On the same verbal style as socialism and communism, he proclaimed his ideology as responsibilism, the epitome of leadership. A leader is one who is with a group but rises above the group, just as an incarnation is within a human body but is not human. He observed that beings in his presence should not be experienced as entertainment, rather, it is entrainment. He expected his followers to embrace his example and become responsible leaders enriching the world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism then set forth to revise the statuses for his monastic order. Having been coronated as Mahamandaleshwar, he aligned his order's rule with that of the Mahanirvani Pita, which he is now leading. The post-satsang, the Tamil Nadu organizers paid their respects to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the now Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akhada. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being showered with the gratitude of the devotees as the new leader of the Mahamandaleshwar. So if you want to listen to these cognitions about what is responsibilism, you can go on Nityandapedia on the 3rd of March 2013 and you will access this address.
Oh, 3rd March 2014. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, explained how everything we have in our lives, whether we want it or not, is our responsibility. Our thoughts are the seed that grows into our thinking, which bears the fruit of our reality. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that the inner awakening program teaches us the science to rewrite our future, creating the reality we want in our lives. In his own words, whether you come to Kalpataru Darshan, NDY, NKY, all I am trying to do is awaken the power of inner space, just like eyes can see, ears can listen, inner space can create what you want. So beautifully explained by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Entering now into the year 2015. On that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continued on the Living Advaita series and addresses and initiations from the Upanishads. This day's Akashic revelations was a profound delivery of the Ishavasya Upanishad, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism urged all Kailasa delegates, diplomats, and disciples to continue the daily Varkyatasadas, exploring the sacred truths, saying, "Blessed are those who are always focused on the realization of reality. This is the most non-suffering way to me. After revealing the meaning of the Ishavasya Upanishad, verse 5, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism declared, in summary, I tell you, the most non-suffering way of existence is to establish yourself in reality. Don't go for perceiving about you, life, or God based on what the larger number of people say. They don't know, and they don't have time to analyze, scrutinize. Second, don't go with your calculation. You know how to calculate only your salary. A person who receives 1 lakh salary can never imagine or perceive raising and spending zillions of dollars. No, it takes literally transformation. Understand, if it goes above your head, listen to the satsang once or twice and participate in the Parkyata Salas.
Param, on this day, presidential address, 3rd March 2016, on this day, presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Supreme Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, announced the 7 years ago today, 1,000s of Kailasa delegates, diplomats, disciples around the world watched and celebrated along with Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as he released his groundbreaking new book, Living Enlightenment, or the Jivan Mukti, Tamil, a true gift to the rest of the world from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa nation, as it is packed with practical, sacred knowledge about how to live an enlightened life in peace and harmony. Today, puja is offered to this sacred book, Living Enlightenment. Daily, he stated, whatever I said, saying, going to say, the essence of all that is in this book.
Entering now into the year 2017, on this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism welcomed all Kailasa delegates, diplomats, and disciples to join in for the 8th anniversary of the Living Enlightenment book, the Jivan Mukti Jayanti. On this auspicious occasion, the Jivan Mukti Jayanti, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism stated that this text was not just some book, rather, it is a gift from Kailasa to the rest of the world. Living enlightenment is an independent intelligence, a deity, god, goddess. By her own right, what is written in this book is very much not only relevant, but alive. There is a quotation in the book, whatever I said, saying, going to say, the essence of all that is in this book. That statement still holds good. Whatever I'm sharing, revealing, you may think, oh, Swamiji comes up with new things. Yes, covers are new, but content is the same for the last 60,000 years. Covers differ, but content is same for the last 60,000 years. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism celebrating the Jayanti of the Living Enlightenment book on this very day.
On 3rd March 2018. On this day, presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, explained that the universe functions with the software called Vedas and Agamas. They are the software for the universe given by Sadashiva. Today was also the 9th anniversary of the Jivan Mukti Day, the launch of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's sacred text, living enlightenment. During celebrations of this contribution to the whole world, 16 temples and Kailasa spiritual embassies from around the world participated in making the Jivan Mukti Aushadha. Jivan Mukti is the most powerful superconscious based software for modern day human beings to manifest powerful cognitions and powers. Every thought current expressed in that, every idea expressed in that is rooted in the Vedas and Agamas. And as mentioned in previous slides, 60,000 years of power packed wisdom is all filled in it. And it's a live book giving us answer to any question in life.
The year 2019, on this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began by acknowledging the 10th anniversary of the Jivan Mukti Jayanti book and the 9th observation of the Hindu Holocaust. This day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the cosmic principle of Jivan Mukti and reiterated the same statement that he made when he first launched the book for the whole world as a gift from Kailasa. Whatever I said, saying, and going to say, wanted to say, will not be able to say, I have said everything in this book, and still I stand by that word. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared deeper truths about the attack that happened on him, his sannyasis and disciples by anti-Nithyananda, anti-Kailasa terrorists, which happened on this day, and how the fundamental right to speech, right to preach, practice Sanatana Hindu Dharma, his religion, and the right to have congregation, all of that was denied.
March 3rd, 2020. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism announced the inauguration of the breakthrough program Leela Dhyana. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that the yoga or any workout for the body makes the nervous system strong and destroys the fear of enlightenment. He also further clarified how the following three are related. Atma Tattva is knowing that the conscious principle is in you. Vidya Tattva is understanding the methodology to manifest Paramashiva, and Shiva Tattva is manifesting Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism imparted that Tyaga infuses Paramashiva in every intention, action, experience, expression, and reality. This day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Kailasa begin a breakthrough program called Leela Dhyana for the Kailasa delegates, diplomats, and disciples, giving a personalized tour of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's native avatar place. All the participants, I commit with you guys, I am with you. The program will be beautiful, successful, manifesting state, space, powers in all of us. Leela Dhyana program is built on the very life source material.
Entering now into the final year of today's segment, the year 2001. 2021. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began by celebrating the 13th anniversary of the Jivan Mukti Day. The previous days of the Hindu Holocaust Day, Anti-Hindu Elements Suicide Day, and the 13th anniversary of the Kailasa Spiritual Embassy in Seattle. The temple was inaugurated in the year 2008, with the mission of bringing the superconscious breakthrough to humanity around the Pacific Northwest area. The temple is also home to a large Nataraja deity in the world standing to the largest Nataraja deity in the world standing at 12 feet high and hosts some of the largest deities in North America. On this day, delegates, diplomats, and disciples representing Kailasa in Seattle offered 185 Naivedyams, food offered to the divine. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism addressed Kailasa and the world, stating that today is a beautiful day. I feel not only my ability to give Jivan Mukti, but my ability to put up with all the persecution and harassment, to handle and win through all the persecution. Both are the best gifts given to me by Paramashiva. Let us enrich the world around with the Jivan Mukti from today. Let us all spend our time today and reading the Jivan Mukti and enriching the world with Jivan Mukti. So with this, we come to the end of today's segment. Today was a Jivan Mukti segment, as this is by far one of the greatest, if not the greatest contribution to humanity that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave. So we invite each and every one of you to go online and find the PDF version of this. It is made available freely. You can go on Nithyananda and type Jivan Mukti or the Living Enlightenment, and you will be redirected to this book. So we thank each and everyone for having spent the time with us. We invite you to come to the next program, to the next segment of the 4th of March. So with this, we'll be moving on to the next part of today's program, which will be an initiation by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to prepare us for the Paramashivoham Level 3, which has actually started. So you still have an opportunity to register. So we invite you to do so at kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. So we thank you very much once again, and we'll see you in the next segment. Let us now move to the initiation from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in only a few moments.